Sister wives Janelle and Cristin Brown have test-run Spilling Tea show. Could a Sister Wives spin-off come sooner rather than later? For quite some time, fans have speculated that Janelle and Cristin Brown are getting their own show. But after a news segment, there's fuel to the rumors. Sister Wives fans beg for a Janelle and Cristin Brown series. Janelle and Cristin have been doing more interviews as season 19 continues. But a new video leads some fans to believe they're truly preparing for their own show. Not sure if this has been posted, but it sure seems like ET is testing the waters to see how they do on their own, one Redditor shared online. They attached a video from Entertainment Tonight's YouTube channel featuring Janelle and Cristin dishing on their personal lives and sister wives. Many other Redditors readily agreed they would tune into a show starring Janelle and Cristin. Their friendship has been incredibly refreshing for viewers who have grown tired of the endless chaos and drama. Reddit users wrote, "I would watch C and J do a pillow talk type show. Even them watching 90 Day, I bet would be good. If any of those TLC people check in here, we want this kind of show. Not everything you put on TV has to be people screaming at each other constantly. Janelle and Cristin are so warm and loving, and it's really nice to be able to watch them just be kind to one another and supportive. That's why we started watching Sister Wives. That's what sucked us in all those years ago. Thank you for sharing." Cristin introducing herself with her new last name was amazing. "I hope this happens." Cristin and Janelle have such contrasting personalities and perspectives that a commentary show or podcast with them would be really entertaining. Other Sister Wives fans think a spin-off about the Woolies is coming. In another Sister Wives Reddit thread, one user suggested that David and Cristin Woolley will have their own show. However, this idea didn't go over as well with other viewers. While fans are interested in seeing Cristin's life after polygamy, they really want to see more of her dynamic with Janelle on screen. On Reddit, many viewers thought a show just about the Woolley family would be too dull, especially without the villainous Cody. What do you think about the situation? Do Janelle and Cristin Brown deserve their own spin-off? Is Entertainment Tonight doing a test run with the shared video? Add your own thoughts to the conversation. In a quaint cafe tucked away in a cozy corner of Flagstaff, Arizona, Janelle and Cristin Brown sat facing each other, fingers clasped around their steaming mugs of coffee. With a soft chuckle and a sparkle in her eye, Cristin raised her cup in a mock toast. "To spilled tea and no regrets," she laughed. Janelle's laughter joined hers, filling the small room with a warmth that made it seem as though they'd been planning this their whole lives. What had started as a half-joking conversation between the two had quickly blossomed into a real possibility: their very own online show. And it wasn't just any show. It was a deep dive into the untold stories, family moments, and secrets that had accumulated over more than a decade on reality TV. This was their moment to spill the tea, to share their side of the story unfiltered and uncut. "Spilling tea feels like the understatement of the year," Janelle said, grinning as she took a sip of her chai latte. "Honestly, though, I think viewers would get a kick out of hearing what we really think." "That's the best part," Cristin agreed, leaning forward. "After all these years, we finally get to speak our minds without someone else filtering it or spinning it for drama." The cafe became their unofficial HQ for brainstorming sessions, where they would jot down ideas on notepads and napkins, huddling together as if they were plotting the next great TV sensation. And maybe they were, at least in their own unique way. The initial episode outline was both ambitious and refreshingly simple. Cristin and Janelle would sit down in a relaxed setting, perhaps with a few snacks on the table, and answer fan questions, unpack behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and even give their reactions to current Sister Wives episodes. "We could do a whole segment just on our reactions," Janelle suggested. "People always want to know what we really think of Cody's latest." She trailed off, but the raised eyebrow she gave Cristin said it all. Cristin snorted, unable to contain herself. "I think they might get more than they bargained for. Cody's going to have to brace himself." She playfully lowered her voice, mimicking Cody's dramatic tones. "It's my way or the highway." Both women dissolved into laughter, reliving countless memories of the intense family debates that had once been such a source of tension in their lives. There was something deeply cathartic about the whole process, revisiting the chaos with a sense of humor and control they had never truly experienced back then. Their pilot episode was filmed in Cristin's backyard, where soft fairy lights illuminated their cozy setup. Janelle had opted for a rustic wooden table and a few candles, while Cristin insisted on an endless supply of her favorite herbal tea, which she gleefully introduced as the lifeblood of this show. The whole production had a down-to-earth vibe that felt more like a late-night chat between old friends than a polished reality TV set. As the cameras started rolling, Janelle and Cristin's initial nerves melted away, replaced by an easy report that years of friendship and shared experiences had fostered. The topics flowed naturally, each one segueing seamlessly into the next. Remember the trip to the beach where we were all supposed to reconnect? Cristin began, the corners of her mouth quirking up at the memory. Oh, don't get me started, Janelle groaned. There we were, thinking it was just going to be a nice family trip. Meanwhile, Cody's in full-on director mode, telling everyone how to feel and when to feel it. Cristin held up a finger, her eyes twinkling with mischief. And that whole scene where I got mad about the sandwiches? Turns out I had packed them, not realizing Cody had this elaborate picnic planned with all these fancy dishes. I just wanted a peanut butter and jelly. It was these small, personal details that made their show feel both intimate and authentic. Fans had always wondered what was going through their minds behind the carefully edited scenes, and now they finally had answers. One of the show's first fan-submitted questions was, if you could do one thing differently from the early days, what would it be? Janelle paused, her face thoughtful as she considered the question. I think I would have set boundaries earlier, she said slowly. There were times when I felt like I was compromising too much, like I was bending over backward to keep the peace. But peace at all costs? It's not real peace. Cristin nodded emphatically, her face softening as she spoke. I spent so many years trying to be the perfect sister wife, always putting everyone else's needs above my own. I didn't realize until much later that I had lost sight of who I was in the process. The conversation grew deeper as they shared stories about the struggles of balancing personal desires with family obligations, of the challenges of raising children in a plural marriage, and of the strength it took to finally make their own paths. They laughed, they teared up, and sometimes they even gave each other knowing looks that spoke of secrets only they could share. Yet amidst the heavier moments, there was an undeniable playfulness. In one segment, Cristin brought out a stack of old photos and dared Janelle to play Guess the Year. They laughed at their outdated hairstyles, poked fun at the fashion choices they once thought were so trendy, and reminisced about the many different phases of their lives. By the end of the episode, they found themselves scrolling through live comments from viewers, reading questions and feedback with a mixture of excitement and gratitude. I can't believe how supportive everyone's being, Cristin said, visibly moved. Janelle nodded, her eyes scanning the messages with a smile. I think they're just happy to finally see us as us. No more scripts, no more rehearsed lines. Just two women sharing their stories. As they wrapped up their test run episode, Cristin raised her mug one final time. To all the fans who stuck by us, who saw us through the highs and lows, this is just the beginning. Janelle clinked her mug against Cristin's with a smile. And here's to the tea that's still to come.